All right, that new game smells wearing off. Let's just get down to business.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto-mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Auntie's, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts. There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. It's like everything else.
does our part, produces glorious bounty for naturally. Sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like metals and raptidons, or the individualists within entity's choice.
Well,
So don't fret.
visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate.
Just to offset any minor disruption.
Apologies, but I don't believe I should be discussing such matters with you without permission. Once you report to the Vigilant, I'd be happy to speak freely. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, We still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory forces.
So much done. Wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. Maybe amity, luxury, and
Because the
resplendence are
matriarch
all
herself designed
I
it.
was sad for a moment because my house got submerged in the flooding. Then the wireless told me everything was splendid. Now I feel much better.
Constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to
We pulled a good harvest. Doc Tinsley's going to be pleased. But if we could hunt for the other beast before bringing this specimen back to her, I'd be much obliged.
right now, the Paradigm needs our houses underwater. Hopefully it'll need them dry again someday, but until then, if prudence dictates, we leave the burden of thought to our betters.
Well, it's...
Prudence dictates.
You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. Oh my. Once again, I find chance to thank the Sovereign for our perfect society, for providing us thoughtful guidance to keep us from going horribly astray, like outsiders do. Just mentioning. No reason right now in particular. All right. Well, don't let me keep you.
Word on the wireless? Stay true, outsider.
Outsider? You've returned.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses.
Recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Dut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
I beg to differ. Those walls have stood for over a century and would easily have stood for another, were it not for Auntie's greed and envy and explosives.
Ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm.
Our society was built from the bedrock up through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all. Unlike those corporate colonies, where it's every person for themselves.
Like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, The system is resistant.
They love it as much as I. We care for everyone. Why, we've even eradicated the drudgery of manual labor through our perfection of auto-mechanical technology. That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, auto-mech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts. Are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative. We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts. Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcements were obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs.
Human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion.
These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or
Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. I owe it to every single person here to try.
take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and
Difficult place to saunter into. Stations off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in.
if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all.
Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors.
Farewell now.
As ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
led to terrible suffering.
No, I just feel sad for them. To inform on a neighbor is a blessing, Prudence says. I'm still waiting for a few thank yous.
The full luxury the paradigm affords us.
The matriarch and sovereign chose appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Ah, Marilyn. Yes, I see you've made her rather memorable acquaintance. Undoubtedly, the familial relation could be easily missed. Whereas she seeks to deliver justice like a hammer's blow, I prefer to solitarily meditate on the sovereign's wisdom. Most recently within A Beacon to the Cosmos. Oh, yes.
To govern it, the matriarch working with and through.
Oh, it's that, homespun metaphor. The Protectorate as a happy, attentive family, the sovereign smiling beneficently at the head of the table, all such, so forth and the like.
Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance.
Say, you are every bit you seem, yes? Thoroughly on the up and up and in no way a hidden agent? It is widely known that a sentinel is required to stand revealed before rendering judgment. Why, a plot point about that featured prominently in the latest episode of I, Red Cloak.
Of course you believe everything on the Aether Wave. I guess it would be stranger if you didn't swallow the propaganda, even if it does take some heavy dramatic license.
Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra.
Well, you appear to be far more fluent with sentinel procedure than I. Veiled implication understood. If you'll excuse me, I best return to my work tasks. If you were a sentinel, or in some sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles. In any case, back to it.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Ah, the Outlander I spoke with before. What brings you back around?
Social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign
Of course. Toodaloo.
executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm. Us a perfect life of contentment and plenty. We
Can it
have
wait, Commander?
community,
At least until we've talked with Zeb.
time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need.
We're letting anyone who wants to train at the Arbiter's facility.
But the paradigm says we're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become tiny cogs in the great war machine.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
all in this together.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Out! Armed and ready. Yeah. Yeah.